welcome back, everybody. We got Battletoads 2020, run by Infinite Mystery, the game of legends. And this is the first remake, or the first reboot, first entry in the series in 26 years, unless I'm mistaken.
You're correct.
Sounds right.
Amazing. We got Infinite Mystery here running, and we have our good friend Slurpy Ninja on the virtual commentator's couch.
That's me.
Before we get started, I would just like to give a quick shout out to HJA for the $25 while we were on the break. Thank you so much. And with that, onwards to you folks.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's having a nice week, start of their weekend so far. Getting ready to enjoy some Battletoads 2020. I'm Infinite Mystery. Thank you, Slurpy Ninja, for joining me for a commentary.
You're very welcome. I'm Slurpy Ninja, as said.
And I hope everyone's also enjoying Slurpathon VII, if I'm not mistaken, so far. Marathon. Other than that, we'll get ready to start in 3. Actually, I'll let you count me down.
Okay, I'll give a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. Time to feed the fantasy.
I hope everyone likes cutscenes. You'll be seeing plenty of them.
I like cutscenes.
Ah, right. I did forget to mention, we have met both of the donation incentives for today. You got the cutscenes and your Turbo Bikes Toad mode.
And no one can tell me to wear a shirt. Oh no! It's the mega famous Battletoads, including Zitz, the leader, Pimple, the strong one, and Rash, the sunglasses one.
They are.
Don't forget Best Kisser.
Enough talk. It's time.
Great
to...
introduction.
Best kisser. Why are you the best kisser?
Yeah.
Maybe because I practice on my hand all the time.
That just means you're the best at kissing your hand.
All the time.
Come on, there's more goals outside.
Practicing's important.
Zitch, you just had to try it, didn't you?
Yeah. You tried. You definitely tried to kiss your own hand.
So with the character, you do have access, depending on how many people you're playing with. You can actually use all 3 toads at one time. But if there's only 1 or 2 players, you can swap between toads at any time. As long as all of them don't happen to run out of energy.
Right?
All of the toads have your basic punch attack. They have a very strong attack like this, which breaks guards, because there will be enemies who will not want to be hit. And that shiny object in the background is a collectible, which doesn't really do much, but in order for 100%, there are those collectibles that you have to get, as well as some some objectives throughout the stage, depending on the stage itself. Now, when you defeat enemies, you can use the long tongue to refill some energy, but you'll also gain some energy as well as defeating enemies too.
Right. Is it like other beat 'em ups where if you like use a super move, it'll take away your health?
Yes, depending on the type of punches you do, in the sequence that you utilize the punches, you'll see different types of attacks. Like if I let all the punches go through, it'll end in some kind of a normal punch or a kick. Right. If I let the punch end at a certain just before the last hit connects, then use the strong attack. I'll get more different animations. And you can also jump out of that strong attack as well during the combo. So you can get very creative with tagging in your different toads. And that was Pork Shank, probably no major distant, very distant, 26-year-old distant relative to General Slaughter.
Oh yeah.
But he decides he wants to bring the toads into their game. But the toads don't really want anything to do with him. So he decides to stick around, take a small beating about halfway. As soon as you reach half health, he goes away. He probably won't come back. At least we hope not. Now when various enemies actually hit you, some of them will get tired for a spell. And you can also use that long tongue for upper attacks. You can actually encase 2 enemies at one time with bubblegum that for some reason they're always chewing.
I guess that's a staple of Toads.
Hmm?
I guess that's a staple of Toads the battle, is chewing bubblegum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Huh. Pork Shank's back.
This bubblegum pig just won't quit.
And each toad also has a taunt, so as long as you fully activate the taunt, you'll get a small boost in strength.
Will then allow you to take out the enemies quicker.
Yes. The toads also have a launch attack, which after pressing one button a number of times, but just before you end it, you press another button for the launch attack. Or depending on if the enemies last long enough, you can continuously juggle them in the air.
So you mentioned that getting the crystals in the background was for 100%. Are you doing 100% in this, or are you
He said if they do what?
when you get the crystals that show up in the background,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned that they're for 100%. Are you going for that, or are you
No. While there are a number of crystals for 100%, 100% also requires you to obtain a S rank that you're seeing during fight sections in the lower corner. If you vary your moves enough, the more your variant of moves are, the higher your rank will get for each battle.
right?
But
S rank is the highest rank. S rank is the highest rank. Yeah.
Just getting the S rank for each, basically for each fight, you have to be able to do it for each and every fight that you gain. But while doing that and obtaining those collectibles, depending on the level, if you have to get another objective in order to get a 6th crystal. Maybe depending on, you have to get an S rank in a level, you have to beat a level in a certain amount of time.
For various conditions.
Right, depending on the level itself. Now Pork Shank comes back a 3rd time, combining the 2 attacks that he used twice, the first 2 times against you, very slow punches, and the dash attack.
Double tackle.
Yep. How they managed to become 2 is beyond me, but we'll let that sink in. Now, Pimple being the strongest definitely has a better range with his melee attack.
And it looks like he teleports fairly quick.
Yes.
I'm just gonna interrupt you for 1 second. You said there was a donation? Or...
Yeah, do we have time to read out a quick donation here?
Sure.
Awesome. We got Mazrum with $30 saying it's great to have Slurpathon back and it's great to be raising money for Extra Life. Put this money towards naming Edgar in Final Fantasy VI Brent.
Make the most of the time you have!
Very good. Brent.
Yikes.
I don't think
Thanks, commands in chat.
Oh well, sucks to be him. On with the celebration!
So you beat him a 3rd time. Does he come back a 4th time? Or is that it for Porkshank?
What was that question?
So you beat him 3 times. Does he come back again?
No, he's Porkshank is officially gone. Now you might have noticed some odd stuff going on in the background.
What?
They're flying.
Tony, come to work! There's friggin' frogs in here!
What the?
Who is this guy? Hang tight, frogs. We're gonna
Some
get you out
remind me
of that bunk.
to play a different Battletoads sometime in the future, just to see if they can fly.
Yeah.
We are gods!
Thanks in the chat.
No,
Very good.
no, not this time. Just me.
Well, I guess unfortunately they can't fly.
And that boy
Didn't
was
think get a Toads to be able to fly.
In lighter news,
so-
we've all heard of Toad in the Hole, but Toads in our hole? Julie Saturn Rings has more.
Thanks, Zerb. Sounds bizarre, but that's exactly what a local construction crew discovered this afternoon.
Yeah, so we was digging, you know, for construction stuff, and I find this bunker with friggin' frogs trapped inside. And I mean, it stinks. So we checked the wiring, and these morons been in there for 26
Wow,
years living
that's
a
language.
simulated fantasy life. And I mean, they stink.
26 years in a fantasy bunker? You'd have to be gullible not to figure that one out. So, frogs, how you feeling? Stupid?
We're not frogs. We're toads.
Battletoads. We're famous superheroes.
This just in. No, you're not. This has
We're
been Julie
not
Saturn Rings
frogs, we're
asking,
toads.
what are they going to do now?
Toads.
And there are now, with up at various
Toad to
levels,
nowhere.
there are also games within the game, mini games as where you actually have to control the toads or the other various characters you'll see later on. So Ron has found a peaceful job that he seems to like.
He really does. He's getting into it for sure.
I'm sure a lot of us might be able to identify with Zit's job.
I thought the promotion was pretty much a guarantee at this point. Then we had that
He's
meeting about the
kneading
email.
just like a loaf of bread.
Yep.
He's got solar hands. No one's gonna get that
I
reference.
don't care about games from the 90s. Some things are just meant to stay buried
I
forever.
got that reference.
Thank you. Alright, one person at least is gonna get that reference. Doesn't end there.
They just say assume good intent.
Oh,
Ooh, an
that
FF10
weird
2 massage
lizard
game? I
noise.
wasn't even aware of that.
Oh, Rash looks happy.
Ron looks happy too.
Oh, maybe he's happy.
I suppose his job is, oh, I see. Assistant to Captain Bones. 300 for one photo op, that's crazy. Photo ops are getting very expensive these days.
I'll go apologize. Knock, knock. Sorry, we're poor. Oh, it's just Rash wearing a diaper.
I'll go apologize. Of course, it's Rash wearing a diaper.
So what? Come in, brothers. Are we brothers? We never talk about it. Doesn't matter. Take a seat. I'll stand. No,
Obvious
you
pun
stand. I'll
there.
sit. Everyone stands. Listen, I've been up all night mimicking the methods of TV detectives. Tracking, triangulating, enhance, enhance, enhance. And I pinpointed the precise location of the Dark Queen.
Could you pinpoint a
Enhance,
dumpster and
enhance,
burn that
enhance.
diaper?
This is the Dark Queen we're talking about. Remember?
Oh, the Dark
She
Queen.
nearly destroyed the galaxy, I think.
She's,
But we
she's
beat
been
her
around
up.
for
Sent her
26
and I
years,
want to
too.
say spinning into space. We can do
Yes,
it.
she has.
Who's in? Zits, pimple, pimples, zits.
Somehow.
Sorry, Rash. I'm a masseuse now. My fists are for pleasure, not pain.
And I'm lead attacher at the email
I'm a
factory.
masseuse
We're
now.
moving
Moving on to what?
I
Our
guess
sink
it's
is
a pleasure,
busted,
not
the
pain.
pipes are
That's great.
frozen, there are train tracks in our living room.
No. We have good jobs and a roof over our heads.
It's a
I'm not ready
terrible
to capture it
apartment.
again.
Well, I'm not ready to be
Yeah.
irrelevant. I'm not ready to live my life as just another toad. But mostly,
You think you'd get
I'm
noise
not
complaints
certain
about
that
that?
I'm
Having a train. Very crying sounds.
We're in. Let's go build you a
Poor
brand
guy.
new
Rash
audience.
is not
You really
happy.
need it?
Damn right I do. Now, where do
Nope.
we find the Dark Queen?
I wouldn't be either if I had a train coming through my living room.
Time travel? No, we'll leave
Sure.
when I've cleaned myself up. Then we're renting turbo bikes, baby! Woohoo! Battletoads reboot!
Renting? Oh, turbo bikes. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for their donations for going towards the different difficulty for the turbo bikes. So
Yeah.
we'll just switch to a different profile once this level loads up.
Is the turbo bikes a lot like the turbo tunnel from the old Battletoads? Or is
Oh,
it,
you will see.
we're all in for it. Alright. This is exciting.
It's only too bad about the load times to go into some of the levels, but that will be worse.
Remember, fellas,
Better with
these
the
turbo bikes
faster
are red
drive.
gold. You know what that
Oh
means?
wow, it is a turbo tunnel.
Crash him?
Exactly.
Now unlike, while it has some similarities to the older turbo tunnels of their past adventures, thank goodness you don't have to fight off enemies. The bad part is, it's a much longer stretch of a stage than the past. The most you really have
done
to...
a lot of construction on the tunnel and made expanded it, right?
Yeah, pretty much everything is, while you're on your way to hopefully find a Dark Queen, there's tons of barriers, tons of walls, and the higher the difficulty, the more of
Obstacles are
yes. I almost opted to switch this to Battletoad mode, which is quite fun for this level, but
so you can switch it to classic side
there's
scrolling. You can switch it so that it's side scrolling, like classic mode.
I was thinking about doing that instead of Toad, but I found there was one caveat. Now, because of the higher difficulty, in Tadpole mode, while you don't have as many barriers and obstacles to jump over, you also have the ability to, you can swap between any Toad at any time, but depending on the difficulty, if all three Toads crash, say on Tadpole mode, you would be able to
Restart the level from the beginning.
you would be able to, they would have like a cooldown of 10 seconds before they'll be revived. When the higher difficulties, you don't gain back those extra toes until you reach a
Hey,
checkpoint.
Battletoads, it's Chet from Chet and Son's Turbo Bike Rental.
So you'd have
My
to start from the
sensors
beginning of the
indicate you're
very
driving
long
like a bat out of
60
heck. Dang it.
What was that question?
I said so you'd have to start from the beginning of the very long 26-year tunnel.
Handsome boys, but they're
Just at the beginning of a checkpoint, but it's worse with, on Battletoad mode than what you're seeing on Toad. Because at the very least, you'll have a major checkpoint and you'll have maybe 1 or 2 minor checkpoints within the long stretch of the road. But on Battletoad mode, you're forced back at the last major checkpoint. Could you just imagine having to fight off enemies while trying to dodge all this construction? Even more so now than back in the older games.
I guess 26 years just wasn't enough time for them to finish constructing the triple tunnel, right?
Unfortunately, no.
They're always working on it. I like how the path just splits the middle there, that's great.
Now, I hope I don't crash into anything else since I'm down at the last toad until I reach a checkpoint. There we go.
Nice. Oof.
That was the only reason why I was almost opting to do Toad, Battletoad instead of Toad, but if something like that would have happened, I would have. If I had to repeat an entire section, it could take a minute, an extra minute or two.
You
don't want that.
Until you return my backs. This is my business model.
Interest in speed running.
He sounds pretty annoyed.
You know what they say.
A minute is too much to
Obviously
lose.
unstable anthropomorphic toads.
Bingo.
Now you would think the Toads would heed the warnings of Chet, but they decided to just continue on.
As they do.
Aren't they what?
Oh, never mind. Just focus on clearing this tunnel. It's getting more spicy as it goes on.
Yeah. If you don't act for this version of what you can call the tunnel total life at least, if you don't actually have to restart any checkpoints, then the entire level is 7 minutes.
Wow.
A reminder that Slurpathon's raising money for Extra Life, which raises funds for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Proceeds go to the Alberta Children's Hospital as unrestricted funds. This means the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars raised make the biggest impact possible. !donate in the chat for the link on where to donate the money.
Thank you for that reminder.
It's what I'm here for.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
I also appreciate the length of this tunnel. It's amazing.
This last major stretch of road is probably the most fun on higher difficulty, only because now you're really more in the inside of some sort of tunnel, and you have a lot shorter gaps to either jump over or don't jump at all. And with levels like these, yes, you still have collectibles to obtain.
Oh man. So for 100%, you can't miss those collectibles either. While also continuing to get S ranks.
Right.
Sounds really tough.
In a level like this, an S rank would be. You can't really afford to have to restart a checkpoint more than once at best.
And they also put diamonds like in places where you need to make a split decision.
And that's while being able to collect the other 5. Which, depending on the difficulty you're playing on, they're in some very awkward places.
Too bad.
And some of them are very easy to pass over. And with that, that's the end of that particular tunnel level.
I made my sons delete their posts.
7 minutes
The
of
truth is, my business is failing, and if you destroy those turbo bikes, I'm ruined. My sons were too beautiful to learn a real
Poor
trade.
Chet.
Please,
His bikes.
return my bikes. This is
Well,
Chet from
at least
Chet
they're still in
Designs.
great condition.
What's he so worried about? The
I
bikes
thought
were
they wanted to
literally the
destroy
same as
them.
when we started this journey.
But, yeah.
Oh. Oh, so much for those bikes.
Oh, there we go. They are destroyed.
Now we can continue on with the rest of the game.
To finding the Dark Queen. The Karn Evil. Very nice. All the stages are puns. I enjoy.
Yeah, unfortunately, his business is kaput.
Very true.
5 missed messages.
was epic.
I'll listen to them later.
I
What
agree.
is this place? Looks like the queen is hiding in an abandoned theme park.
Be
What
careful.
is this
It's
place?
been years since our last tetanus shot.
Abandoned park? That sounds like a good hideout.
Yeah, the queen. Yeah, you'll see very soon. Now you have enemies just like Corkshank that you have to wait for them to actually dodge. You have to wait for them to actually see you so you can dodge. And you can't do anything to them otherwise.
You kind of have to right away just do a counterattack before you can.
What was that question?
Well, I said if you do try to attack them right away, they probably just counterattack, right? You just take damage.
Some of them may try. Some of them will counterattack, but others they just won't have any effect.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they have some invulnerability period, and they can do from.
Right.
I see.
There are also enemies who just won't actually do anything, but you have to keep them stunned.
Kind of like the rat race in the original Battletoads. Where if you don't keep the rat stunned, he'll just win.
Yep. Now the only time the Toads can actually use the bubble gum that they're constantly showing is when there are enemies on the screen, certain enemies anyway, or objects in the background. But some of those collectibles that you have to get, before they were most of them would just be out in the open waiting for you to obtain them. From this level onwards, there are various things that you have to do to obtain some of those collectibles.
Got it.
Ah.
Now the Dark Queen, she's been in seclusion for so many years, so she's had to beef up her security system.
Of course.
Now these particular enemies that you've seen before, the bubblegum won't actually work on them at all. They'll just, even when stunned, see, they'll just think it was some yummy food.
So let's eat it out. Maybe the vent is yummy.
And you'll also have to go, you have to use your tongue as well to reach certain areas in the background and foreground.
I actually didn't realize that you go into the background until now. That's really cool.
That is a nice looking spaceship.
I'm just relieved it's not another ambush.
Oh look, a spaceship.
Yeah, how come there's never
Another
anyone
nice looking
around here
spaceship.
until they want to fight and then they magically appear?
Some things we'll just never know, Rash. And some will
Rash
just
is
have
asking
some
all
really,
of the
really loose justification.
all of the major questions.
Yeah. All the right questions.
See, that would be one of many scenarios where in order to find a jewel, you'll have to do something or hit something in the background.
See.
Now this particular electric enemy, some enemies like this electric one won't actually hit you, but they'll attempt to get close enough to your character, or if you get close to it, well, you might get a shot. You can hit it before the electricity fully comes out, or use the bubble gun to stun them. And also, if you encase an enemy in bubblegum, it's also hilarious to see them struggle to get out of it, which they will do, which most enemies will do in a few seconds.
That's very true.
So you
Struggle
can,
is real.
so you can encase two of them at one time, and until you get a chance to, until you actually get a chance to get rid of them.
Oh, more guys that eat the bubble gum. They think it's bubble yum. What was that? The statue attack you just did? Was that your special?
Was that a what?
Was that like a special attack?
That was, yes, it was.
Nice.
Depending on the punch sequence that you use, to go from your weak to your launcher.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately, once the launcher comes out, you can either let the attack finish, or you can just jump out of the launcher, which is actually fortunate because some of the launcher attacks at the end of various combos are very bad. Pinkles especially. And the likelihood of them hitting the majority of enemies, it's not effective at all.
Oh.
The good thing about utilizing your taunt, the morph attack that you have access to, at least in Pimple's case, you can get rid of some enemies in one morph attack instead of two normally if you didn't taunt.
Yeah. I see that.
So it's one of the major reasons why Pimple is used primarily over all of the other Toads. So not only does he have the advantage of being the strongest Toad, he can also clear a number of enemies at once via the taunt and the morph attack.
The taunt and morph, right?
And he's especially useful on the higher difficulties as well.
Yeah, I imagine he'd be like the only choice for Battletoads now.
Although the only major issue with the higher difficulties is you will encounter a lot more enemies, you'll take more damage, and the enemies will take a lot less.
Okay.
And you have to play much safer than you would than on Tadpole, and even normal to an extent.
Right.
another security system for the Dark Queen. You'll have mini games like this. We have to guide whichever toad is you're actually controlling at the time. You'll see that same face of the toad on the screen.
In this case, Pimple.
In
this case, Pimple.
Yep. Now, if you don't actually move your toad fast enough, as you saw a wall of spikes appear behind you.
I see that.
But you also can't take a hit from any of the objects, depending on what you're actually trying to clear with the security.
So you need to get Pimple all the way over to the right side.
I may be
square,
zits,
yeah.
but you're the
Nice.
one getting popped.
Did it. That's awesome. I'm so excited for what the next pen's gonna be for the next stage. As you may or may
Don't
not
get mad
know,
at us. You asked for
quite
feedback.
fond of puns.
But I didn't expect any.
And now we're deeper into where the Dark Queen possibly resides. More security.
Ooh.
I'm gonna chug me a zit splits. It's gonna be an all-nighter.
Every time Rash has to do this, he always says something about him needing an energy drink. This is going to be an all-nighter.
That one actually reminded me of the game like N++.
Is it what?
So I said that puzzle reminded me of the game N++. Some squares that move around to guide the ninja around.
I have to see that one.
Pretty neat one. It's all inertia based.
And as you can see, each toad has a morph attack different from each other, and you also have a different morph attack within a combo as well.
Zit splits. Nice reptiles.
I guess if I was the Dark Queen, I would probably have all this security as well.
Hey, you never know when a Battletoad is gonna come crashing through after 26 years.
Yep. I agree. Now these enemies, you might think we all scream for ice cream, but you don't want to do that. Or at the very least, these enemies will make you reconsider wanting ice cream after being hit with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be better than ice cream.
And fortunately that zip is fast. At least being the fastest of all the toads. And when you have a lot of enemies on the screen, you can utilize the dash, utilize the bubble gun to stun one of them. Or you can even launch yourself at an enemy while using the tongue. We have quite a number of options.
Nice.
So you have a lot of variety options you can utilize, and if even more variety if you can do so with swapping between toads in the middle of your combo. But that's more troublesome than it's worth, at least if it's only one player.
I like to see the combos you can do with multiplayer.
You probably can, but since the game is relatively unknown, I'd imagine there probably hasn't been any co-op runs.
Someday there will be.
What was that question?
Oh, I said someday there will be.
Yes,
runs of this, I'm sure.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's gonna be totally cool.
Yep, I agree.
I'm sorry.
That hurt me so much.
Is there any donations or updates?
No donations yet, but
Just
if people
saying.
want to donate, you can go !donate for that link. If you want to attribute your donation to any kind of incentive, !incentives to check out the current list. Otherwise, keep on watching, keep on donating, and keep on having fun.
What we do. Oh wow, speedrun robot.
Okay, back to, you know, what are we doing again?
I'm gonna puke.
Fighting is harder than I remember.
Oh, swallowed it.
Oh, swallowed it.
Probably one of the more useless dialogues.
Right. You got this.
Now with these miniature games, normally you have to manually hack the system yourself, but there is one way. I believe if I'm not mistaken, I believe the game has to be beat on Battletoad mode in order to have an option of automatically hack the systems. But I have to confirm it with another runner. I've only seen it once.
Does this game have a lot of runners for it?
Runners? Actually, no. No more than, I'd say 6 at most.
Okay. That's more than Bike Crab.
Yeah, sorta. I wasn't sure what to think of that game.
It's pretty out there, pretty wild, but it's fun.
I think as a matter of fact today, I've seen some interesting games marathon-wise.
Yeah, it's been great to be about that. Very diverse schedule.
I'm looking forward to seeing all the games for the weekend.
You definitely have a lot of games coming up. For sure.
And you saw with the long tongue that they use, you have the option of launching yourself at them or pulling you to them. Fortunately, when you do take a hit, depending on the difficulty you're on, you'll have a small bit of invincibility.
Oh, nice.
If you're on Battletoads, no invincibility at all. And you take a massive health loss.
That sounds really tough.
that particular security is odd because you have to follow the flag in order to avoid the rest of the issues.
Dangerous.
I never forgot to kill off the other front.
They're all different for the character. Well, I'm gonna be right back here. My drink.
Okay.
Excuse me for a sec.
Nice simple morph attack once you have so many enemies surrounding you.
Stay vigilant. The Dark Queen is behind this door. Probably. I thought you pinpointed her precise location.
Pinpointed, guess. Who can remember?
I remember. You said pinpointed.
We're wasting time.
Let's just go inside and punch whatever we see, okay?
Fine. You need to be walking a certain death.
Not just any intruders. The soon-to-be famous
Battletoads?
It's the Queen. Punch! Let go, Pimple!
You're not punching a baby.
But it's ugly.
Drop the ugly baby.
Don't really drop it though, just set it down gently.
Not until I explain myself.
Toad Huddle. She's really got us over a barrel with that ugly baby.
I vote to let her talk.
Yeah, fine, whatever. Let go. It stings when you pinch it off like that.
Okay, Queen, you have exactly 10 seconds to explain yourself. Go!
I'm being held prisoner in this park by a race of celestial aliens named the Topians who stole my powers and hired a giant guardian to block my escape. I've secretly been using radiation to create sentient carnival toys that I hoped would mutate into fierce warriors, but instead came out brassy, all about the holidays, and anatomically correct, to name a few. We devised a plan to topple the guard and travel the cosmos to defeat the Topian overlords, thus freeing the
Okay,
galaxy
I'm
and
back.
restoring
Sorry about
the
that.
26 years
wow,
ago.
you found
Did
that.
you get that naked toys and pants?
Why would she get the pants last?
The Queen has been here for 26 years. We were in the bunker.
Why would she get the
for
pants
26
last?
years. Do you know what that means?
Oh my god. It means she's not famous either.
More importantly, it means the Topians
Means
locked us in
she's
the
not
bunker.
famous
Who
either.
cares? The Dark Queen was our ticket back to the top.
True.
If she's not famous, then we can't be famous. And if we can't be famous, then
Poor
life
Rash
is
with
meaningless.
one-track mind.
Punch me through my brain.
I don't want to, but I will do anything for you. Are you sure?
Yeah, man. I'm sure. Okay.
I guess they don't have bigballers.com in this universe. It's a little harder to get famous.
We can team up.
I'm sorry, excuse me. This is a Toad Huddle?
I know our history is complicated. I mean, you sent me spinning off into space. No hard feelings. Much respect. But now that you're here, we can execute my plan to defeat the Topians together.
These
You
Topians.
sent me spinning off in space. No hard feelings.
I'm in.
I'm not. Thanks for the hot tip, lady, but
I guess after 26 years, those grudges just go away.
I
Yeah.
declare a Toad Shampoo!
Toad Shampoo!
A what now?
Toad Shambo.
Toad Shampoo!
Another minigame within a game. Basically your weird version of rock, paper, scissors, but nothing makes sense.
Rappers.
It's the time!
The best you can hope for is that one toad will win real quickly.
Pimple wins!
Whoever it is.
I guess it's RNG.
Yeah.
Toad Shambo. It's very hard to tell who's the winner in this Toad Shambo. Xylophone. Xylophone does beat paper and the other thing. It is the run killer. You're right.
Oh, it
If
is.
All's
It is
moving,
much
Toad
more
and
coming
Bo
up
can just throw
ahead.
everything out of.
The Topians had this guardian keeping the Dark Queen at bay, and of course, since she has no powers, she can't really escape. Because of this guardian being around.
You gotta help her escape. Other than just taking.
Yep. So the only way to actually do any hits on the guardian is those weird large eyes that those weird shield box was protecting. Afterwards, it attempts to crush the Toad eventually. And until you get rid of those eyes, those smaller eyes will just appear. Fortunately, you only have to hit the guardian 3 times with some portion of the ceiling, or whatever it hurts, whatever's actually hurting it.
Right? You got a raid from 2000. I love the speed of the dash. It's really cool.
He's down. Now let's
Welcome
steal the
in,
spaceship
Wolfman
and get outta
2000.
here.
Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. For those of you just joining us, we are doing a marathon all weekend to raise money for Extra Life, which raises funds for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. All the proceeds raised go to the Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation.
You're unflappable.
Chat commands !donate, !incentives.
You stinky wimps! Beep, beep, garbage
Yes.
butt backing up!
Whoa.
I hate the Battletoads.
There, Queen, correct me if I'm wrong. Earlier, did I hear you scream that we
Got 'em.
stink?
What? No. I was talking about the cattle toads. Like you guys, but cattle. They
Oh,
stink.
the cattle toads.
I'm so freaking pumped. We're gonna be
It's
famous.
original dialect.
Some Topian scum, we just stole the spaceship, and we're coming for you. The Battletoads and the Dark Queen are gonna destroy you. And in case you're wondering, our exact space coordinates are 3x543. Stop that.
Your Majesties,
Yes, mortal.
moments ago we received this transmission.
The Battletoads and the Dark
Yes,
Queen
Mom.
are gonna destroy you.
Did that voice just say it was going to destroy us?
Who would want to destroy you? You've got the most amazing shape.
I'm wearing Nebulous from Zorthos. You know the cluster with the gross bugs?
Oh, the gross bugs. See, I think they're cute bugs.
does have
With
a
their
nice
little
shape.
wobble.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the wobble. I wonder if they're ready to evolve. Might be fun to set them up.
With the fourth dimension?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, see, this is why little old me and you run the universe.
Oh, great ones. What do you want to
Oh,
do
the
about
fourth
the Dark
dimension.
Queen and the Battletoads?
Huh? Oh, alert the galaxy and kill them. And I'm waiting on a sandwich. Great torturing, torture team.
Forgive me.
Forgive? More like 400 lashes. See what I did there? I took 4.
I love it.
Whip him.
Yes, and hear that pun in your nightmare.
Yeah. Whip him good. That should be a song.
Write that down.
Pardon my interruption, oh floating ones, but we still
That
haven't
lives in
located
all
the
of our
Dark Queen.
Oh my
nightmares.
god, what kind of an update is that?
Yeah, restaurants don't say, excuse me, we haven't started making your food.
Oh, you know that one place did.
Oh, that's right. The place that's mean on purpose.
I want to pay you to be mean to me. It's what I have a mother for.
Have you found the other ones? The, Arbaltos? The Totalos?
Oh, the things we're looking for. The brutables.
Bartle bears?
Tattletoes?
Arbaltoes.
Fire bats? Jitsu bats?
Battle bees?
That's it.
That's it, battle bees.
The battle bees.
The Battletoads. I'm afraid they've eluded capture as well.
Battle bees.
What did you do?
I made him 3 inches shorter. Doesn't seem like much, but his entire life will change. Now, do your job before I give you combination skin. That's like when part of your skin is dry.
Parts are oily and parts are dry.
I get it. They're Pluto and Pia doing like
And that spinny little witch
Utopia.
might be more of a formidable team than we thought.
We couldn't do this without you. You're the most important member of the team. Just don't tell the others I said that, okay?
I thought he was talking to the Dark Queen. No.
Where are we?
Mercury 9, an outer ring planet and home to an old cohort of mine named Jeffrey.
And he's see-through? Cool.
He is a well-connected diplomat who knows of a secret entrance into Topian City. However, I need to speak with him
Mercury
alone.
9 doesn't sound like a friendly place.
Yeah.
Are you all conspiring behind my back? Seriously, like, am I paranoid? Do I sound crazy? Am I crazy right now?
No way. You're the leader.
Okay, good, great. In that case, I say the Queen waits outside while we talk to Jeff.
You don't even know Jeff. Why would he trust you?
Why do you trust me?
I don't. That's why I don't want you talking to Jeff.
Too bad. I'm pulling rank.
This is so stupid. Stupid.
Hey, who is Jeff?
I declare one of those thingies.
He's a negotiator for the two groups of people having a war.
Okay.
Introducing
Battletoads Shambo.
Yep. Dark Queen decided to join us.
Dark Queen loses.
Funny is it? Oh wow.
In this particular type of Toad Shambo, it doesn't matter what gets picked.
The Dark Queen always loses.
Yep.
Dark Queen loses. Dark Queen loses again.
Oh, she's mad. Angry.
Sorry, Queen.
Call me if you have any problems.
Talk about a superiority complex. Okay, everyone, keep your eyes peeled for Jeff.
I'm Jeff. How may I help you?
Yeah, hi. I'm in charge here, and we're gonna need you to tell us the secret way into Topian
Oh,
City.
that's Jeff.
And thank you. She works for us, actually.
The Dark Queen is challenging the Topians? Of course I'll share the coordinates. However, I'll need to speak with the Queen herself alone.
We can call her.
No, anything you would tell her, you can tell us.
That's the opposite of what I said. Not to mention, I'm busy negotiating peace between two warring tribes by acquiring their medallions of respect. So, unless you connect me with the Dark Queen immediately, we have nothing left to discuss.
Jeff has a mighty hair.
No! Give it here!
Is something wrong?
Jeff is fine. Jeff is fine.
Gives him plus 10 to importance.
Poor Jeff.
Talk to him.
This
Oh, he's fine.
Jeff, you sound different.
He's just asleep.
Pink eye doesn't change how you sound.
I mean, mouth?
So sorry, Super Pink, gotta go. Bye. Whew, that bought us some time.
Time for what?
Time to help Jeff's body earn those medallions. He'll wake up and see what we did and then
Time for
fork
what?
over the coordinates. Any objections?
Will it matter?
No, it will not. Let's find those medallions.
I'm sure Jeff will be fine. Somehow.
Well, if you find those medallions.
Toads, I've intercepted radio chatter about a Topian checkpoint in the area. Be careful and don't leave the palace. That would be stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Ow! Oh crap! There's a bee in the spaceship. Ow, ow, ow!
Well, at least we know one of the Dark Queen's weaknesses.
Bees.
Now on this planet, now you're introduced to a whole new crop of enemies. Some of the Topian enforcers. And more security.
They get taken down by the taunt and change. Those two. That's ad red indeed. Tom Kenny, very cool.
Now some of the resident tribes that Jeff was supposed to be negotiating with, you have to fight them as well in this level. Basically, they're woodsmen with the axes, and these enemies, which don't actually do anything, but before you can, if you get near them, they'll just disappear. So you actually have to use the bubble gun to stun them.
Okay. See.
The woodsmen with the axes and the gymnasts, the ones who don't actually do anything.
Look, that wooden gladiator has a
Mentioned
medallion
those
of
before.
respect.
He's fighting in a nearby arena.
Wouldn't glad
How do you know?
It's
Medallion of
written
respect.
on the billboard.
Rash, can you read?
You kidding? I read tons of books.
Works. There's that board. Whoa. Oh, you just switched characters. I thought maybe you were flying off the bonus stage.
Yeah, just to give all the characters a bit of usage. Even though Pencil is more useful than the other characters. But the range with the other characters' attack is not as good.
Awesome.
Must be nice to be able to pull the Battletoads arcade machine from just anywhere.
Yeah. Just out of thin air. Another very tough game. Battletoads arcade.
Probably should have thrown it sooner just to get rid of the enforcers. Right? Fortunately, there's only so many more security areas that you have to deal with. For these panels, you have, in order to open the door, the spark of electricity has to find its way completely.
Yeah. Kind of reminding me of Mega Man X, the spider boss.
Yeah. Those weird microphone enemies, it's a good thing you really don't see them throughout the majority of the game, and even their attacks are very useless.
So they're basically just there to boost time.
I mean, they'll show up a few more times, but usually with other stronger enemies.
Right.
I think I'm missing a panel somewhere. Yep. I still, after all this time, I still have not memorized how many times I need to utilize each panel, just to have a clear link.
Well, it's tough. There's a lot of buttons, so you gotta.
Because everything has to connect.
I certainly couldn't do it. Oh.
One of these days I'm gonna have to commit these to memory.
Definitely be useful in some parts, for sure. Maybe be right back again in a sec, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, fortunately the puzzles aren't that much worse. If there are any announcements.
Ooh, that's rank. Nice. I'm back.
Welcome back.
No announcements at the moment, but I will say that last year, Slurpathon raised 2510. I have said this terribly. I have dug myself a hole, $2,510.13 for Extra Life, and this year, our goal is $3,000. We're already over a third of the way there, with roughly $1,325 currently. And it's only day one.
That's
I'm
great
really
so
hoping
far.
we can knock this out of the park.
Thank you. Yeah. We're definitely getting there. Almost halfway there. So does the game scale back the number of enemies and encounters when you're playing single player as opposed to multiplayer? Or is it the same number regardless?
Since I've only have been able to do co-op with someone once, I haven't seen more
How
yet.
did he beat us here?
I think some things in life just won't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like,
Hey,
maybe
Steph.
God didn't have the time or the budget to make everything
What
perfect,
happened
or
to him?
maybe there were just some outside mitigating circumstances.
Yeah, I'm not
Sounds
sure
like a lot of excuses.
Yes, it does,
plot-wise
Rash.
where or
Yes, it
how
does.
Jeff got there first.
He got there first, but he got there worst.
Yeah. and the torture for him is not over.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Lumberjack Law
No,
states the
poor Jeff.
medallion must be taken, not given. Even though you're super cool. Way cooler than my roommate. Like, how hard is it to rinse your dishes?
This is an interesting enemy. It's got
Anyway,
a...
good luck in the battle.
Yeah, I don't see Jeff being able to battle anybody in his condition.
No. Actually.
Now, Axley has two different attacks, and there's no way to speed him up. Well, actually, three different attacks. One which consists of these odd type of plants that are also grenades. Two will be having tons of logs being thrown at you to flatten you, but you'll see a conjunction with both of those. And his third attack, which will come shortly for close combat.
His attacks are quite fast. I can't imagine, like, Battletoads mode must be super hard to dodge these.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know it? I got a big
But already gets tough as it is.
In the first couple of phases, you can hit Axley before he's actually stunned with the axe. But eventually, you won't be able to hit Axley at all until he's officially stunned.
Once he is stunned, you can cut him down to size.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that, Penny.
I expect him.
Very good. I was mainly apologizing to Brofar.
If anything, it's appropriate.
I have no comment.
Fight.
So is where he lands completely random, or is it all pattern?
No, it's the same pattern every time.
Okay.
So fortunately, while you don't have to worry about RNG, the fight is somewhat long because you have to go through everything. About the best you can hope for is trying to hit actually as much as possible so they'll go to the next phase early, but you'll only be able to hit him so much before he goes back to the background. And as his energy is down more than halfway, he'll do those axe dives more times and faster. Basically at this point where his health is, I won't be able to hit him until he's fully stunned while trying to get his axe out of the ground. And when he's down to his last 4, you can't hit him at all until the stun. And depending on which toad you finish Axley off with, you'll get a different... You'll get a completely different animation you won't see anywhere else in the combo or out. That finishes Axley off. So you finished off Axley, he's begging please not to hurt him.
Oh, please don't
But,
hurt me. My roommate will have to drive me to the
Jeff has to
hospital.
get the
And
medallion.
there's, like, loose ketchup all over
That's
his
true.
seats and floor mats.
So you gotta give him the boot, unfortunately. Oh, there's Jeff. And there's the medallion. Alright, nice.
So that's one medallion down.
Hard axe to follow. Even I got hurt a little bit by that one.
Now they're in the trophy room for the second medallion, which is yet another mini game within the game. All the toads have some sort of objectives. The first one, a toad has to keep whatever these objects are from falling to the complete bottom of the screen. using
Space
some
Invaders.
kind of arrow. Which, the amount that you can miss is indicated in the bars below.
Right?
The second Toad has, I'm not sure what you would call this. Rock ball or something?
Yeah, rock ball. Hey, Phantomire, how's it going? Thank you. Phantomire wishes you the best of luck in the run. I think this is like rock juggling or rock tumbling.
Yeah, something like that. It's about as close as I can, as close as I think it would be. Thank you to Phantomir, and how you doing? And the last Toad is preparing for a major dive, some kind of a major dive, in which you press one button to utilize the particular pose, which has to be held in place for a couple of seconds, and you have a target amount that you have to reach before you hit the bottom.
Oh.
The higher the difficulty, the more targets you have to do in a less amount of time. You can also choose not to go completely high in the air.
Ooh, good landing.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on, the Phantomire, is that that we are working together with the Dark Queen, who's been in a bunker for 26 years, and we're trying to, I guess we're fighting the Topians, Uto and...
Wow, you really understand lumberjacks now.
Correct.
Is that right?
Let's eat!
Thank you, Surfer Ninja.
Oh yeah, yum yum time.
Now let's eat.
What? I thought dinner was
It's
served.
yum yum time.
Wasn't dinner. That was a server.
That wasn't dinner. Oh, that was a subtle.
You survived malaria. You can survive this. Get off me! He's gonna pull through.
Unfortunately, the Phantomir, this is also all cutscenes run as well.
Whoops.
Hold on.
That's
Jeff
632.
loves small food. He would never have mistaken small waiters for the actual meal itself.
Huh?
He's unconscious!
Hey, who are you three?
These frogs have been puppeteering
That's not
Jeff
the
like
real
some
Jeff.
sort of
Wait,
stringed
no, he's
toy.
unconscious.
Deciding their fate will be the first act of our newly peaceful society.
Kill him!
I'm not sure how any of the residents did not realize that they were
Maybe they
there
were
all
like-
the time.
Huh? Maybe they were too focused on dinner.
Now, as if Jeff hasn't been through enough punishment, and this is what I like to call the real turbo tunnel level, for reasons.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
We're riding on Jeff's body!
And he hasn't complained, so this is
Have
fine.
advanced turbo tunnel technology past 26 years.
So you may think that that's an actual sled that they're on, but no, that's Jeff's body, still unconscious.
Well, they're riding Jeff all the way to Utopia.
Even complete with turbo tunnel music. Another very long level. The only difference in this instance is while you're trying to escape whatever that is chasing you, you have to land on these various platforms. Thank you. There are 3 different platforms, each which corresponds a button, and there are also various objects that might be in your path as well. If you miss the landing by pressing the wrong button or anything in general, then you have to restart at the last checkpoint. And just like the turbo tunnel, it's a long level.
That's 7 minutes?
Not that long, but it's long enough. Probably about 6. But that's also if you don't have to restart too many times. Now at first it does look easy as they'll try to introduce you slowly to each of the platforms. But since there are tons and tons of checkpoints, you'll see a variety of ramps and multiple switches between each type of platform that you have to alternate with.
What you're saying is that they ramp up the difficulty?
Yes. All in that pun. I didn't realize about the pun until it was too late, but that's okay. For this level, it's completely understandable. And just like the turbo tunnel, the turbo bike level, and almost most of the other levels in the game, you can, especially if you're trying to go for 100%, yes, you have to get those collectibles, and they throw some monkey wrenches into where you can obtain them. So if you happen to miss one and you really want to collect it, just fall right away.
You have to go back.
Yes.
There's no going forward at that point.
6? Enough is enough. We need DQ's help.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Fine.
Displaying
I can't
leadership.
right now. I'm probably doing something evil. Please leave a message.
Hey, Queen, just called to say we're in a big jam and we could use a tiny bit of breast milk, so a little help maybe? This is it, by the way. I'm still a good leader. Bye.
That's basically the halfway point of the stage. Basically after the halfway checkpoint, that's when all of the different switches really start to appear. And for each time you jump, even if you have to land back on that same one, you have to press the button again. Fortunately, you don't have to hold it once you've actually landed.
It saves your what button you press for the duration of the whole ramp.
Correct. And as you can see, those different paths that are being shown, those actually lead to different. Depending on the path you take, those actually lead to what was I gonna say? Those actually lead to those collectibles.
I really said totally.
And because depending on the path you take will differ depending on whether or not you're trying to get those collectibles or not, it's very easy to get confused which button you need to press on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah, and 100% if you end up on the wrong path, and that's, yeah.
With 100% you have to what?
Oh, through the 100% run, you have to, if you don't take the right path, then that's it. You have to go back again.
Yeah, if you miss one, you'll probably know instantly. Oops. Wrong button.
What happened there? The wrong button? Okay.
If you miss one, you'll want to restart the last checkpoint so that you can get them because it's pointless if you miss the level entirely. For one for one collectible. Yeah.
Looks like we were saved by the long arm of the claw. No? Nothing?
The Dark Queen, while very late of answering the message,
Yeah.
at least responded.
So.
He called her 4 minutes ago.
He was praising my leadership when he just collapsed.
Dark Queen, you look different than I remember.
Hello.
He was praising my
We're looking
leadership.
for the secret entrance to Topian City. Will you help us?
You knocked me unconscious.
You did?
I would never. But I did, yes, accidentally.
I refuse to help these cretins, Queen. Dump the frogs, then we can talk.
I did,
One more
accidentally.
thing. I'm sorry, but it absolutely has to be said. This new outfit?
Thank you, Jeffrey.
He
You've
should have
made this
never
much,
insulted her.
much easier.
No.
Tell me the location of the secret entrance.
There's a map in my back pocket. It's yours.
Got it.
I guess we've changed.
Dark Queen definitely has her ways of getting information out of Jeff.
Like you're entitled to it because we hung out 20 years ago. Oh, Jeffrey, you've soiled your pants.
26 years ago.
Do with me.
I've already let you down once. Why not twice? We got the map.
You're not mad that we lied to you?
I'm more relieved no one had pink eye.
They did?
Touching on the same doorknobs.
Poor Jeff.
Bottom line,
I don't remember him telling them
by calling the
anything.
Queen for help. And as our leader, I've decided that we should follow her lead for the rest of the mission.
Huh, that almost sounds like an apology.
I think Zitz just had a breakthrough.
What do you say, Queen?
I say, next stop, Topian City.
Jeff didn't exactly stick the landing.
Was that a gymnast joke, you lumberjack sack of crap?
Are you making fun of the sack lunches we lumberjacks bring into the forest?
Goodbye, truce. Welcome back, Sweetwall.
Truth is over. Wow.
And that's why planet Golo has its unremarkable yellow hue.
Oh, fascinating.
Next to boring amoeba who only communicates through
Planet
ambient sounds
Golo.
like...
Sorry, Zitz. I can't take any more of your podcasts.
Okay, how do you want to spend the next 3 million miles?
We could play I Spy.
Ooh, me first. I spy another spaceship heading right for us.
Dig it down the back of there.
What the hell?
Did they just call us?
What's... well, what can you do? Que sera, sera. When they go at 'em!
We're gaining on them.
What exactly is the point of fighting these idiots?
You mean besides
Simple
the
choice of
fantastic feeling
life.
of revenge?
Queen, please. I don't want to rush into another unnecessary fight.
Good point.
Thank you.
Counterpoint. This is a
I would never have been able to think
opportunity
of that
test the
pun.
ship's weaponry before Topian City. Pimple.
No one listens. Make them understand. No, I get so angry. Nice. Nice.
Pimple, let go of Rash.
I have to leave. This dynamic is toxic. I can't be a part of this friendship anymore.
Aren't you brothers?
We never talk about it.
Pimple, be reasonable.
No! Anyone tired of fighting can come with me. Otherwise,
Oh,
leave
we
me
never
alone.
talked about it.
Go with Pimple. If he gets into trouble, activate this beacon.
Pimple's just being dramatic.
Let him blow off some steam while we
You know
blow
something's
these
wrong when a
dirtbags.
Battletoad
Talk
gets
about
tired of
murder.
fighting.
You would think with all the time together, they would actually have talked about, are they really brothers?
Yeah, right.
Now, does anyone know how to control this ship?
There'll probably be some sort of tutorial.
What? Oh,
Now,
wait,
an
it says
actual
right there on the
tutorial would
screen.
show up on screen if I had that enabled in the options.
Oh, I see.
So, for the next number of levels,
Cool.
we'll find out where Pimple will be going very soon. But there'll be a combination of those levels and the spaceship. While trying to find their way to wherever the Topians are. The major difference with the higher difficulty levels is just much less energy on both Battletoad and Toad, and the amount of being able to dodge various all the projectile fire being thrown at you.
They definitely jumped right into schmuck mode.
You do have a small dash, the same dash that you use in the fighter scenes, but all it enables you to do is very quickly bypass a small stream of fire invincibility wise, but it only lasts for a split second.
Kind of like a quick stream.
Yeah, that's it completely.
Oh. Perfect. Quickest strafe in the galaxy.
Unfortunately, on the higher difficulty levels, you really need that quick strafe.
Battletoads-ish. That was a good fight. Very clean.
Mainly on Tadpole, since you have so much health, you don't really have to worry about losing too much health, even without the quick strafe. And sometimes you will see, you'll also gain health back after each sector that's cleared, as well as seeing some spare health drops along the way, but basically only on Tadpole will you see that among some extra weapons, which weapon-wise will only last for a very short amount of time.
Okay.
But it will allow you to clear out some certain waves of enemies quicker.
Yeah.
On normal and on Toad and Battletoad, all bets are off in terms of you seeing any extra health, in terms of you seeing extra weapons, which even are temporary, and enemy fire has a heavy trap. Some depending on the spaceships that you're trying to avoid. You'll see various different. For these levels, you'll see various different spaceships that have various firing techniques. Some of them you'll have to heavily avoid, while others are just almost impossible.
This one's that 8-bit beard. Dude, thank you for all of the gift subs. Wow.
Oh wow, very nice.
Is that 10? More than 10?
Thank you, Slurpee. Yeah, I don't know why, but in my chat they're just appearing blank, so I had no idea what I was looking at. So thank you for calling that out.
Hey, don't let that guy bother you.
Way more than
People
10.
like him try to spread pain.
Dude, I appreciate it. Thank you.
A pleasure. My name's Nico with a QU.
My name is
Yo,
Pimple.
thanks.
I was a Battletoad.
Ooh, sounds dramatic. If you're scoping chill
Double
spots for
profile, isn't
self-care,
it?
I'm meeting my friends in the meadow to play games. What do you say?
That's awfully nice, but I should be more careful with who I trust.
Hey, I'm the one talking to a guy carrying stuffed animals in public. We both could be psychopaths, man.
I guess you're right.
What's wrong with that?
Pimple got tired of the toxic demographic of what's going on, so somehow, some way, he beamed himself towards what possibly could be a peaceful, loving planet.
Possibly. Could this possibly be Utopia? No, it couldn't possibly be Utopia.
Nah. In space, who knows where it could be?
There's no violence allowed on the rock,
At
my
least in
man.
their
It's about
world.
using your thinker. And if you think
Or
you gotta
universe, I
drain the
should say.
vein, now's the time. See you up there.
On the rock. There's no violence.
And with these levels, you'll randomly get assigned either Pimple or one of the two aides that the Dark Queen sent to watch over him.
Okay.
While there's no fighting whatsoever in these sections, it's just observe the beautiful scenery, reach checkpoints, dodge a ton of what seems to be, even in a peaceful valley like this, it's more platformers, spike, pits, and everything in between.
This game has it all.
Yep.
Puns, platforms,
schmunks. Yep.
Turbo tunnel. 26 year bunker. Sure has, that's true. Is there a level where you'll be riding on giant snakes? Or
I almost wish that were the case, but no. Might be a good thing though. Could you imagine what the snakes might be in high def?
I can't imagine.
They would have to just completely remake everything from scratch to be just reminiscent to the first game.
Imagine if they combined them with like the turbo snake tunnel.
I would like that for some reason. I don't know how it would work, but I like it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the worst thing that can happen outside of taking 1 point of damage from the anything smaller spikes, but if you fall into any bigger bed of spikes, then you'll just start back right at the nearest, the closest pit to it.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
So other than that, there's not too much to the platforming sections, with the exception of the blocks that you saw move earlier, which will be more apparent in the 2 levels that follow this. Because there's 3 of these levels as well as the spaceship levels.
So, who is this guy that you're actually controlling right now? He's not a Battletoad and he's not Jeff.
He's one of the 3 Dark Queen creations, 2 of them which came along with her, that she sent to watch over Pimple just in case he gets in any sort of trouble.
I see.
So you will randomly be chosen unless you decide to pick stage select and just play this level in general. Then you'd be able to pick which character. But those won't be the only times you'll see those characters.
Yeah, you like that? Probably not, since you're dead.
Guess there's no reason to keep shooting these cool lasers then.
It's not. Hey!
There's always reasons to keep shooting cool lasers.
Out of that ship.
So
The Dark Queen is definitely a bad influence on him.
They're even worse because littering harms everyone.
I wouldn't argue that because it's wrong, but it's right enough to turn these lasers back on. What do you say?
Street justice!
Street justice.
So back we are in space.
Wow, that was easy.
I suppose we could stop there.
More targets!
And well, Rash asked for it. More targets.
About lasers. True.
With each space level you see, you'll see some of the same enemies, spaceship wise, and you'll see much more different ones.
Waves and different formations. Street justice, yeah.
And those collectibles are on these levels as well. But the collectibles in space, they're very hard. Unless you're in a higher difficulty and you still wanted to get them while you're trying to dodge everything all at once, you won't miss them at all.
Yeah. Oh, days. Thank you for everyone gifts like the Spark over. Thank you so much. Glad.
Now that weird spaceship with the odd lines that follow you around, those are probably some of the more dangerous ones.
Yeah, those definitely look like they're very dangerous.
Especially if you add everything else that shows up on the screen. Especially on a higher difficulty.
Right now, sometime music. It has lasers, of course it's good. Yep. It has lasers, turbo tunnel, it
has a nice mixture of quite a different play style.
And there are definitely parts that you run around as the Battletoads and insert street justice. How hard you have to edit too.
Now it's fortunate that this is on Tadpole because you would see just how much more. I mean, even what you're seeing now is still not the most that can be thrown at you even on Tadpole, but if this were anything but Tadpole, I would almost say a person might end up pulling their hair out right about now. Just to clear one sector.
It already looks pretty intense at this point.
Because even with the quick strike that you have, while you have until you actually manage to get rid of the majority of spaceships. Once you get rid of the majority of spaceships, their bullets will disappear. But you're also having to contend with everything else at the same time. So try imagine only having 3 hits, no health shows up, no extra weapons, and you have to dodge all that at once. So you have to start trying to figure out.
It looks like there's a very large number of ships coming up on the radar.
You have to figure out which spaceships you want to get rid of first.
Right.
And now back to Pimple's peaceful, well, somewhat peaceful planet.
Somewhat peaceful. Pimple's peaceful planet.
You're looking good looking. You feel those tingles? Them's endorphins. Your brain cooks them up when your body feels tight.
Man, this is more of the platform.
Now with the last 2 levels of platform perils, now you have a lot more spike pits to deal with. It's fortunate that you can get some distance with your roll jump, but sometimes you'll find yourself moving just a bit further than you want to, right into a pit.
Because of too much momentum. Dangerous enemy.
And as far as the much bigger platforms, the worst that can happen is that if you're in the air, they will definitely stop any momentum you have. So if you're over a pit when you're hit,
if it isn't, we'll just say it is.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about any RNG with the platforms at all.
Oh, that's good.
Which is probably a good thing.
I'll agree.
The worst thing that could happen is you might miss a cycle just trying to bypass if you really wanted to get by this area fast.
And more sirens, more indication that the danger is increasing in this level.
Man, with these blues platforms, any ones that have a skull on it, well, you know where it's going.
Definitely.
And you don't want to be there when it finishes. Because unfortunately, some other
very tropical freeze like.
Maybe whoever else was trying this trial met their unfortunate end.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with the tropical freeze mention. I apologize for that, Tempest Mark. Unfortunately, living in a noisy area doesn't have its benefits.
Yeah, I think those sirens are actually real sirens. I hope people are okay.
With these platforms, you have no choice but to roll in each one of them as they come up, because eventually they're going to hit the spikes at the bottom, and you also have those moving spikes coming from at the top as well. In this small cave, you can't stay on any of those platforms for too long.
No, otherwise the spikes will come right down on you.
Oops. Wow, that was a bad roll.
It's okay.
There's
only
only
two momentum of the roll to propel you through that jump. It's easier said than done. There you go, nice. You got it.
Oh, you're on the precipice of enlightenment, my man.
Fortunately, Pimple and Friends can do both. Does the last part of his peaceful journey into some sort of tranquility back to back.
Perhaps Utopia, finally. But perhaps not.
Possibly. Perhaps.
Dr. Good Vibes here to say you've developed a wicked case of the third eye.
So much to
Symptoms
this.
include spiritual enlightenment and an addiction
Good
to
vibes.
heartfelt hugs. Now get on up to the summit and have a blueberry juice.
Good vibes and heartfelt hugs. And blueberry juice.
Now, along with all those spikes, now you have some small block puzzles to deal with. And those weird skulls with those weird skulls in the middle of anywhere, they actually activate some sort of spikish platform in most cases, so you do not want to be there. You do not want to be standing anywhere that you see a skull icon for anything longer than a second.
Yeah, longer than a second, that's danger zone. Oh,
And in other instances, you need those heavy blocks. You need those heavy blocks to lift off of the hay, or to make the platform heavier.
Puzzle mechanics. Very cool.
Now in sections like these, you have to utilize a combination of everything in order to make your way to the next part.
Right.
Fortunately, there's only about 4 of these.
We have had another donation come in from the Phantomir, $10. Let's top up Dot Phase's goal, as well as name Terra Hina in Final Fantasy VI.
Nice. Thanks, Badwire.
In levels like these, the collectibles that you want, a lot of them, whereas before you could just find them out in the open, but some of them are hidden in places you wouldn't expect here, and they're quite out of the way.
Right. That's good though, that as the game progresses, they're slowly making things more and more difficult, so it's very apparent.
Now those spike ones on the ceiling, those will actually crush you.
No.
If you're in the wrong place.
At the wrong time.
Yep.
Looks like we got through there without any incidents. That's really good. And checkpoint.
This next one is probably not one of my favorite ones. What another runner could actually do is they move this block, and somehow, if possible, to avoid that particular piece of spiked area, they'll somehow roll. Using this platform, they'll somehow make the character roll and reach that switch without utilizing the blocks at all. But it's tougher than it looks for some reason. But so since I have to do this normally, I also found there's an alternate way of clearing the platforms that I need.
Nice.
You can, for some reason, those platforms are only supposed to be able to lift one block. But if it's positioned correctly, rats.
It left 2 blocks.
Yes, it can actually lift 2 blocks.
Wow.
But I think I must have been possibly a pixel.
Oh, 1 pixel off. Huh?
Yeah. So this way, because if both of the blocks are up, then all I have to do is just move one of them to the right, so I can continue to this section.
Yeah.
So fortunately, this lengthy part is the entire last section that we'll ever have to deal with all of these moving blocks, spikes, and such.
Okay. For these platforming sections.
But it's not tougher than the last ones, but it just consists of 2 different sections. But it's actually more than 2 different sections if you're actually looking to gain all of the collectibles. Because some of the collectibles are completely out of the way, so you'll be in a section that you've never seen. In order to work your way back to this area.
They really added so much to this. It's really cool. Up we go.
Now Now, in that particular, the goal of this part is to be able to reach the very top, but those huge blocks that you have to wait to move, while you have to use the lever in order to, while you have to use the platform box to lift them, right, to get to where the skull is, if you try to move too early, it will count as a crush.
You definitely don't want to get crushed.
This is probably the worst section, and you'll see why shortly. First you have to move have both platforms on the ground, jump up with one. It's safe for you to stand on this because the trigger for the spike isn't right. It's safe for you to trigger the spike as long as because you're standing on it, but it's not above you. Right. But in this case, in order for you to drag that block to this next one, if any part of your character touches any portion of that, yeah, it counts as a crush. So you have to move it slightly over and move to the other side, and then you can drag it to safety.
I see. That's smart.
So finally, after all of that, Pimple and friends reach the top just so they can have their blueberry juice.
Yum. Yeah, definitely those Rayman vibes, for sure.
Giddy up, partner. You gotta up to the top.
Man, that seems like it's such a peaceful place, right?
Giddy up to the top.
Hey, Pimps, you okay?
Okay.
Very
I've never
peaceful.
felt better.
Hey, I'm good friends
At least we
with
hope.
you, man.
You know, I was worried you might be a
Never
pervert
felt
at first,
better.
Nico, but now you're happy.
I'd be even happier if you decided to stay. Take your time, audit your feelings, process any lingering Battletoad drama.
I'm in.
Oh, yeah? Well, attention, everyone. Pimple is here to stay.
Yay! Showing Jason!
Who's Jason?
This
They got him.
is
Pimple is now here to stay.
Neat. Is this like an inside joke where the joke is how bad it looks?
Jason is the
Sweet.
one true God.
Oh.
He brought you into our life, so I brought you here to thank him.
So you're a cult?
No, man, we're just a group of people who love fun and hate conflict. Jason demands it.
Huh.
So go ahead, toss him that thank you.
One thing. I don't
Jason
necessarily
demands it.
believe in Jason.
I don't know if I'd want to worship a
Well,
rock.
the thing is, it's not exactly okay because you're creating conflict and Jason hates conflict.
I mean,
But
it's
if
got a nice
Jason's
face.
vibes are as tight as you say they are, wouldn't he be chill about it?
Don't use my jargon to talk about Jason. I'm sorry. You're right. Maybe Jason didn't bring you into our lives. Maybe he
How
says you're
dare
a
he use
suppressive person.
Nico's
Is
jargon.
that Jason? Pimple smells like duty and diapers.
Why are you being mean to me?
Because you're harming our spiritual progress. Everyone turn your back on Pimple. He's no longer tight. He's toxic.
But we're family. We made necklaces, remember?
Yeah, she shouldn't have done that.
I really shouldn't have.
Sit down. Be nice. Nice. Be strong. My necklace! Use of me! Use of me!
Oh.
What did you do,
Oh,
man?
no more peace for the peaceful place.
Pimple, my man. Be tight. Be tight,
I
my
don't
man.
think I would want to get a Toad angry, especially Pimple. So because
Yeah.
Pimple snapped, we have yet another mini game. Pimple has to fight off all of these Jasonians. You have enemies coming at you from 5 different directions, and they're not the only ones that get to have fun.
I see.
OWTH has found solace in chopping a couple of trees down.
Yeah. Get me some blueberry juice. I agree. And that will chill him right off. Right down.
Each time it goes back to Pimple or any of the other characters, which is only twice to 3 times, there's more. And some different actions are needed. In Braddy's case, Braddy uses the cell phone to get rid of any annoying whatever they're supposed to be.
One would never know. Oh. I don't know what that said, but I think it was good. Good job.
Starting from the 3rd time on, when you see Pimple, you'll either have to duck or jump to get out of the way of one of the main more powerful people who's trying to either burn to a crisp. You have to either duck or jump. When you're playing as OW for the 2nd time, you just have a much taller set of trees to knock down.
Oh.
Now with the corresponding buttons that you have to press, every time you miss, it costs a couple of seconds. On normal and on Toad and Battletoads, you have almost no time, and there's basically no room for mistakes, and less time at that.
Going on Battletoads mode sounds absolutely intense. It already is intense. Battletoads mode sounds way more intense. I don't even know if I'd attempt that. I can't hear the music, but I'm sure it's amazing.
And we're Braddy one more time. Right. Just to get rid of anything flying towards the cell phone. If the cell phone takes too many hits to upload to whatever alien Snapchat, right? Then the phone runs out of battery or something.
Don't be like the Daytonians. Piece of good. Turning on someone like that is wrong. Especially if they haven't become very true.
Now with the duck and jump commands, you won't have to worry about actually getting hit by any of the enemies flying at you from the 5 different directions, despite how close they are. Okay. But when you're ducking and jumping from the main person, then you have to duck or be jumping the entire time. Basically either holding down a set of buttons.
Okay.
It would appear that unhappy civilians may have teamed up.
And while Pimple makes peace with the Jasonians, we're going back into space one last time with the rest of the crew.
Nice.
And the Dark Queen's expression pretty much says it all. Pretty much all of the spaceships that you've seen up until now will show up in this section, which on the higher difficulty levels, very chaotic.
Yes. Very chaotic indeed.
Especially with only 3 health. So imagine everything that you're seeing on screen now. It's intensified on a higher difficulty.
I can't even imagine. It's already wild.
They also introduced these odd, I guess you can call them Topian, very odd like Topian ships, but to a much lesser degree.
Utopian Island. Maybe Utopian?
Possibly.
That's what I thought too.
I mean, at least the fire they use is somewhat easy, but if you have tons of other different types of fire at the same time, it's much worse. Even with the strike, a quick strike will probably save you in a few instances.
You just said this is like the last bastion of like the Topian Army's defenses before you actually get there, or still more?
Considering that the Topians sent the entire universe to come after them, it's a portion of the Topian, just a very portion, and you'll see why in a moment.
Topian intensifiers?
Yep, but not for the level itself, just right after the level.
Oh.
Because honestly, if you really did have to fight the amount of Topian ships that come after you when this ends, you'd be shocked. Okay.
I believe it.
Here we go.
We may have attracted some unwanted attention.
Those are the truth. Those are real Topian spaceships.
That's a lot.
In hindsight, maybe street justice was a bad idea.
You think?
On the bright side, this is the perfect opportunity to test the ship's
No,
defenses.
street justice is never a bad idea.
The defenses suck. Get us out of here or we're all going to die.
When you're fighting, when you're battling
Where is it
amphibians.
transmitting from?
30,000 miles. Directly behind us.
No friggin' way we're turning around.
We don't have a choice.
And you see the reason for all of those spaceship sections, because that's how much further they were advancing. So they get Pimple's beacon, he's in trouble, but unfortunately, trying to escape the Topians has had some costly effects on their spaceship, and it's breaking down. So here's yet another mini game where
spaceship mini game.
Yep. In order to partially repair portions of your spaceship, those weird alien symbols at the top correspond to something in general that you have to do.
Oh.
It's partially highlighted, but sometimes you may not see it until it's too late, and you're also going against a timer. If you fail it, then the sequence just starts again, and you never get the same amount sequence each time.
Well, I don't even have a clue where to start with this thing.
And there's at least 5 sets of these, which introduces more each time.
Sure does, like those places. Goes all the way to Topia. Among other things.
In a lot of these instances, I have to match up shapes, press a button, or some other type of response. You start off having to do 3, but then it goes up to you having to clear 6.
Oh.
So sometimes you have to kind of not guess which one it is, but hopefully if you can spot it quicker than I do.
I'm looking. A-Y-E-X-A. Nice.
This one is probably my worst. It's probably the worst one because it relies you to keep it in a certain range holding the trigger button.
Ah.
Now I'll definitely end up failing this again because I didn't realize which particular mini game I was looking at the first one.
Right.
It's probably the one part of the game that still gives me a lot of trouble because since it's complete RNG, you never know. You honestly never know which one is going to actually happen next.
Right. Okay, you got the first one, that's great. Now you gotta match the temperature. Or, oh no, you're over there. I got confused, sorry. Systems restored, nice. Hold on.
And all of this is happening because so much of the spaceship is failing.
Yeah. It's okay. You got this, I believe.
There's certain mini games I don't mind, but then there are other ones, if it happens, it can throw me off completely. Especially the temperature control with the trigger.
What throws me off is that they change the places of where the things you have to do are. Oh, yeah, good temperature, alright. Also, temperature is stabilized. Systems restored.
I think the only real difference in the higher difficulties for this area is just less time. So it's even more stressful than it is already.
Fine, just focus. You got this. Nice.
Okay, I'm glad that one cleared because it goes way too many X's.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And I'm hyped for mini games. Good mash.
I forgot it goes from 3 to 7 before the systems are restored enough.
Right.
Which one is it?
This one here, 3.20 coming up. Welcome, Max. We're getting there.
I didn't see that one until it was way too late. That one hasn't shown up at all until now.
Yes, I almost got this. Let's go.
Yeah, that's gonna be a failure because I didn't see which was what until too late.
It's very tough to see which one you need to do at first, because it always changes, right?
What was that?
I said it's very tough to see which one you need to do, because it always changes.
Yeah.
I'm even having trouble following it.
It gives me the worst trouble during the run because I'm still not used to all of the alien different shapes.
Yeah.
Now those weird alien shapes also appear in one specific area.
Nice.
For a collectible. And the only way you can match those is by identifying which shape belongs with what on in the store that you bypass. And it's very weird.
You got the second one, the third one actually. Let's go. That's good.
Now that shows up.
Oh.
You're gonna need another energy drink.
That one always
not quite. Right, you're close.
Always the one that I want to show up last never does.
Oh man. It's too bad you can't decide which ones to do. The game just makes you do it. Symbols? Yeah.
Which one is it?
It's I think it's apparently. I can't hear
That
it.
one's always a problem.
Encouragement, I can feel it. Because I am silently yelling at the screen encouragement.
I'm very loudly yelling at the screen and encouragement.
Very good. Yes.
I apologize for missing it so many times.
Gonna need an energy drink.
Oh, that was hard.
I need not to miss one so early.
Get these tasks done.
Like if I could identify what it is much earlier, depending on what shows up, then it's not so bad.
True. Nice. Yes. Yes, very good. Oh gosh,
See, that was probably a better combination of RNG. Why couldn't I have gotten that much earlier?
All systems failing.
And I do apologize to everyone about the estimate. There's still some game left.
Okay.
All right. We got time for some donations?
Yeah, plenty.
Everyone okay?
Everyone
Awesome.
except
Well, we have a $2 donation from Dot
This one has
Phase.
an arm through its head.
whoever did this is
Leet Crew, absolutely wonderful
We need to
job
find-
during your block, Infinite Mystery. Shout outs to Brofar for hosting and sending love to the commentator Slurpy himself. Excited for the next block.
Hey, buddy.
Before reading the next one, I want to point out that Dodface was trying to get the total up to 1337, and that actually brought it up to 1336. So that Sparkover donated $1, saying, "Babe, you need an extra $1 for the Elite Crew."
Elite Crew, indeed. We're here.
Thank you so much for your donations. Exclamation mark donate for anyone else who wants to contribute, and exclamation mark incentives in case you want to have your donations mean something more than just kids. Not that we, yeah, not that we dislike kids. It's all for the kids.
Yeah, but this is insane. There must be 50 bodies up here. Look at this one.
And congratulations on destroying those mini games. Hashtag first try.
Well, maybe in the future. Thank you.
Now we'll
If it
need to
wasn't first
repair
try,
the
well,
ship,
this has never
cruise up
happened
in 3
before.
hours of exploration and 2 hours of crafting.
I severely underestimated when I submitted this how long those cutscenes were. But I also didn't have, when I started playing this, I didn't have the time I did now.
I'm sorry, guys, but I'm feeling nothing but love at the moment.
Well, that's just perfect. Okay, take us to jail.
Just so I know about how much longer is.
I'd say with cutscenes, only about 12, 13, 15 minutes at best.
At long last,
15 minutes? Okay.
captured the Battletoads.
All right, we got one more donation. We have Dotface saying, "Well, I can't count. I can't math either. Dropping more love for the kids. Thanks for the help, babe. Shout outs to Sparkover for being the best. $25.
Up yours.
Spicy as
advertised, these
mercenaries have them
Our minions say your frog and lady crusade is the talk of the galaxy.
Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. You know,
There's
Lester
Udo
Overlords
and
were
Topia, they're back.
disembodied in a grand public spectacle, but the space is rented
Oh,
tonight. So
Udo
we
and
thought,
Pia,
let's just keep the
sorry.
story going. However, we have some notes.
Number one, no swearing.
None.
Have you been swearing?
No, just extremely violent.
No, that's fine. Number two, abandon free thought and kneel to us, your celestial masters.
If you can't kneel, just, you know, lean.
Slightly bend.
Neil, because of you, I languished in a radioactive wasteland, starving, consumed by thoughts of self-destruction.
And we had to get jobs.
The only thing that kept me tethered to mortal coil was the hope of being exactly where I'm standing right now. Kneel to you. No,
OW looks so
I'm
happy.
here to kill you.
Queen? Anyone else feel like pushing back on our notes?
What did you do to her?
We scattered her beyond the infinitesimal plane.
She's dead, you ding-dongs.
We blew her up real small. She's sand.
Now kneel or you'll be next.
Don't look so mopey. We can finally start having more fun.
Never anger a Topian.
Concerts,
No,
talk shows,
never.
gladiatorial death matches. In just
wouldn't dream
6
of
short
it.
months, the Battletoads have taken Topian City by storm. You're all so talented. How do you pick your projects?
The Topians tell us what to do.
And no one is more grateful than their fans.
Crash is so cool. I want to kiss him. And Zitz is a great dancer. I want to kiss him.
I want to split Pimple's stomach.
The Battletoads are okay, but the Topians need to fix the streets, help the homeless. Did you know there's a black hole 3 blocks away?
Battletoads! Yes, the Battletoads. All hail our glorious Topian leaders for bestowing us with these 3 tremendous talents. May they keep our attention for decades to come.
We're alive, sort of. Think. Inside, charismatic fascist
Well,
deity.
somehow she
Not my
survived.
worst Friday night. Sorry, I make jokes when I'm distressed. More like, this sucks. I'm upset.
Calm yourself.
All 3 blocks away.
Hello?
Very
Who's
legit.
there?
Thousands of beings who disobeyed the Topians as you had.
The Topians cannot be rivaled. Disperse your particles and find peace in the cloud.
You mean give up?
Give way to the natural order of things.
dispersing
Surrender
their
to the
particles doesn't
cloud
sound
and
like a
become blissful nothingness.
very nice thing.
Hi, I'm Terry Kowalski. Have you heard about the cloud? You don't have to wear pants in here.
Members
Terry
of the
Kowalski.
Cloud.
Heard
I
about the
know
cloud?
fighting feels futile. I felt the same way, but fate gave me an opportunity, and now I'm giving you one. Assemble your particles and fight with me.
What did you have in mind?
2 seconds. I'm winging it here. What can we do with 1,000 particle people? That's one idea. Attention! Last Halloween,
What
I
can you do
swallowed
with
a live
1,000
fish on a
practical
deck,
people?
flopped around, messed up my insides. These toys had to pump my stomach.
Well, I'm out.
Wait! Perhaps causing a collective disruption could trigger the Topians to, well, pump their stomachs. What do you say?
I say,
Mess up their insides.
What fun. Now, Rash, there's a rumor floating around that you're dating Cougar Plimpets. Is that true?
Ah, you know I don't kiss
Maybe Rash is enjoying himself.
Posting, leaving Rash's mansion.
Right.
Shazow. What is that gonna mean?
We were
I
exercising.
mean, he did always want fame.
Now, Rash might be off the market, but he's in markets
Yeah.
starting today.
Look at that.
You didn't even have to go to bigpolis.com to
We'll be
get
right back
fame.
with more from the battle.
Oh, amazing.
And we're clear.
Is something wrong?
Oh, my stomach has been killing.
I could tell. You were weird.
Feel like well,
When was your last internal cleansing?
4,000 years ago.
4,000 years? No wonder. Here, take this.
What now? Here in the middle of a show?
Yeah, you should have thought of that 3,000 years ago.
4,000 years.
Now, go backstage and squirt this juice into your cavity.
Is that the blueberry juice of legend?
it's actually working.
Well, think of it this way, for anybody who remembers having to race a rat to before a bomb explodes.
Oh, the rat race.
Yep. Only except there's no rat and there's no bomb, but something much worse.
But there is still a race.
Nope, no race. Well, it is if you want to escape whatever that weird stuff is.
Ah, I see.
So basically, the Dark Queen is getting a taste of her own medicine, what she did to the Battletoads all those years ago. All you can do is dash to escape what you might as well think of Pepto-Bismol, or something to that degree.
I think it's like stomach digestive acids or something.
Yeah, acid probably being the considering what it will do to someone if it reaches. And you also have to get rid of those weird barriers just by dashing into them. Other than that, the only thing you can do outside of a dash and a jump is to float slowly, which mainly helps when all of those major spike sections.
Yeah, I can't even see having like safety goggles being very protective against this acid. Like it does nothing. Oh yeah, this is very the rat race.
Yeah.
Great.
Could you imagine if you actually had to fight off an enemy here of any or some sort of odd mechanism while trying to avoid?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't imagine
the odd acid.
Yeah.
The major difference in the difficulties is while you only have so much time before the acid shows up. Yeah, you have no time before the acid shows up. So it's very so basically you'll see it instantly even when you hit a checkpoint.
Oh no.
And then if you're trying to go for 100%, yes, that's another issue.
100% sounds like it's the real big challenge. If not, like almost impossible.
It practically is if you're going for if you're on a harder difficulty with the low health and trying to go for those extra collectibles.
Right.
Because there's no room for error. Even on Tadpole, if you're trying to go for the collectibles, you have very little room.
That race, but it's the rest of enzymes.
And those weird green puddles on the ground act as bounce pods. So
they throw you back up towards the impending doom.
And in some instances, you need them just to reach something else.
Right? Oh.
Oops, I messed up. I wasn't supposed to utilize that switch yet.
Right. Wait, can you go through here now? Or what?
I was supposed to actually leave that platform up before. But if I get rid of the platform too soon, then
it blocks you.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, this will be the one instance even on Tadpole where the acid comes down instantly. So if you miss the extra barrier, you break once. That's it.
Oh.
But other than that, it's not a threat at any other time on this difficulty.
Right.
And could you imagine if you actually had to avoid gears and gas and a number of other things while trying to avoid the acid at the same time?
I can't. That's too much.
Yep, Tempest. About the closest you'll get to the rat race. And honestly, considering what you're trying to escape, you don't want to be dealing with any rat named Scuzz.
Yeah, no.
It's fortunate that whoever you're patrolling in this area has a parachute, because trying to make a long fall, you're going to get hit.
Definitely wouldn't be Battletoads without a rat race. It's very true. You got the action.
Now, a little birdie told.
Sorry.
Too bad that had to happen on camera.
Well,
There's the
look
Dark
who
Queen.
reassembled her particulate matter.
Boo her.
I cannot believe you're alive.
Don't tell me, after everything we've been through, that you've befriended these tyrants.
We didn't have a choice.
Hey, I have an idea. Audience, do you want to see the Battletoads kill the Dark Queen live in studio?
Oh, I know.
Live in studio.
Kill the Dark Queen.
No!
No way!
The Queen is our friend. Tell him, Rash. Rash, tell him.
We can't lose the audience.
What? Who cares about the audience?
I care, okay?
It's a shame Rash really likes that popularity.
For real. And now I am one.
We're not heroes, Rash, or propaganda. The Topians are using us to distract from all the bad crap they're doing to the galaxy.
We're puppets. I am not a puppet.
Obey the Topians.
Yeah, that's just like one of 1,000 phrases. Listen.
Topians rule. All hail the Topians.
You guys
The Topians.
Rash, the audience is waiting.
You are hearing me talk.
Kill her.
Kill her. Kill her.
I love that line.
But
I spent my last $20 on this Rash
Come
doll.
on, that's too easy. Give me a real challenge by restoring
I
the
think the
Queen's
company
power.
missed the marketing chance by making those dolls possible.
Queen, right? Come on, you're
True.
with me, right? Topes, babes, you're not gonna upset trillions of home viewers, are you? Who knows what they'd start thinking about you, themselves, full galactic rebellion.
Okay, you twisted my headpiece. Now kill her, or else.
Now you know a Topian has too much power when they can do that.
Okay, audience, say my catchphrase with me. 1, 2, 3, punch!
1, 2, 3, punch. Oh. I see.
Rash, you little double crosser.
Wait, it could be a triple cross.
Sorry, Topians. You fooled me once, and I won't let you do it again.
You mean
That's the
anymore?
double
You were
proof.
fully brainwashed.
Can we focus on the cool thing I just did with the Queen? It hurt.
Sorry, I'm a bit rusty.
They're bantering. It's not a triple cross. Zap!
It's not a triple
Oh,
cross.
great, look what you did to the floor. Follow them down and attack.
Don't worry, we're now in the last section of the game.
Alright, last section of the game. Let's go.
So they fall to the floor to who knows where this is.
Ooh, that really would hurt.
But I don't want to go to school today.
So the Tolkien's decides to send anybody that's available after them. Not meant to be a hard fight at all. Just anything that you've seen throughout the whole game. But you actually have the Dark Queen's assistance, even though you don't really want to be caught in those tornadoes. They will help you against any enemies by keeping them juggled, but other than that, you're better off doing the majority of the work yourself. A few more sections. Well, these are the last regular enemies you'll see.
Not pretend.
It's too bad that the Tolkien's minions aren't really doing that great of a job.
Alright, question number 1. Why haven't the soldiers killed them?
Everyone had a big spaghetti lunch.
Oh, was it a special occasion?
Oh, it's
Everyone had a
Tracy's
big
birthday.
spaghetti lunch.
We let her pick.
Let's just zap them onto the nightmare bites. Zap.
It's his birthday. Sparkover's birthday. Happy birthday, Sparkover.
So yes, there's yet another Turbo Bike section, but thankfully it's nowhere near as long as the first one.
Oh, good.
Just with the Tolkien's watching, hoping you hit something. And for those wondering, yes, there is a warp, but it doesn't do anything. You'll see a blue dot on the right wall. But if you hit anything, including that warp, they'll just laugh at you. Basically their idea of a cool joke. And as long as you keep avoiding stuff, they get kind of angry.
I love the addition of the warp. That's classic. Really cool.
The same premise as the earlier bike level, only except you don't have to worry about pits, it's just more walls. After about a minute and a half of avoiding stuff, then they'll be ready for the main course.
Dinner.
Gosh darn in your face. Oh, damn it.
Let's go.
No.
I'm losing it!
Okay, calm down.
Well, they should be dead!
I know.
Once again to everybody, I apologize for the longer estimate.
Right? Are you down?
It was mainly because of how long the cutscenes and some failed attempts of areas are.
Nobody has any idea what you're talking about. It was all first try.
Okay.
It was a perfect playthrough, world record pace. You're good.
The Battletoads and the Dark
The final showdown,
forgotten
yes?
relics of a primitive time.
And they smell like it too. Pew! Honestly, grab a shower.
I admit, you've exceeded our expectations. You had a nice little adventure, sold a few toys, but your character development ends now. In the end, was it even
Maybe
necessary?
those toads really should look into that shower.
Basically, you're trash, and now you die.
Right.
I got you.
Here we go, Battletoads versus the Topian.
So in this fight, you finally get to fight the Topians who made the Toads and the Dark Queen miserable for these past numbered many years. Uto deals more with lightning, while he uses some kind of more cloud earthquake type attacks. You can opt to just take a hit by anything and utilize the invincibility to do a hit on them or two, but you're only going to be able to do so much until they swap between both of them. Well, once they get about close to a fourth, then they'll both show up. This is probably a worse fight for Pimple, only unless you're trying to continuously jump to hit one of them. Because Pimple can't stay in the air as long as Zitz or Rash. And especially since they have more juggle ability.
You have to get right into their hitbox. Covered in protection, it's always, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Uto with the lightning, it's really no way to avoid it. Now, you think you're done with the Topians, but they take one last stand. The Battletoads, everything looks bleak for them, but look who comes to their rescue.
Yeah, the Dark Queen.
Of all the unlikely, and yet it's also the last mini-game of the
Charging the laser beam,
in which you take control of all of the Toads and have to do exactly what it wants on the screen.
It's actually really great.
Time will be after the last cutscene is done.
These morphing powers.
Oh. The only thing that happens each time if you don't manage to actually do something is that you'll just see the Topians kind of hover over both of your characters, all of the characters, and you pretty much assume something bad happened to them, and you just continue from there.
Did I even have nipples? I can't remember.
Was that time?
Not well. It would be normally in a run, but since this is the last cutscene,
The Topians were enabled by the
I'll end the time after this cutscene ends.
Cowardly to fight back, too spoiled to care about the rest of us.
Queen, come on, they're defenseless.
We were defenseless. Don't you get it? This was always my plan. I'm not the good queen, or even the okay queen.
True.
I'm the dark queen. And now that my power has been restored, things are about to get very, very dark.
Right here, here she is.
Dark Queen, Julie Saturn rings with Galaxy 7 News. How does it feel to have single-handedly defeated the Topians?
What?
I saw everything, Julie. The Dark Queen did it all. She's the hero.
Single-handedly.
Stop clapping! I haven't levied your punishments.
Yeah, this sassy gal emancipated the galaxy. Let her hear it from every corner of existence.
It's her for every corner of existence. Yeah.
Alright. Queen, does this mean you're the galaxy's interim ruler?
I suppose ruling is right there in my name. The queen part, not the dark part.
So, you're not jealous?
Nah, I'm not jealous. We've saved the galaxy, and that's enough for me. Besides, who needs fame when I've got my brothers? Are we brothers?
They've done it. They've
Maybe we
saved the
should talk about
galaxy.
it, Rash. Maybe we should finally talk about it.
Whoa! Galaxy News 7 says a freaky monster is swallowing planets. Should we investigate?
Yeah, gotta be honest. It beats going back to the email factory.
Yes! I knew this wasn't a one-off adventure. Who knows what the future holds?
He's
Maybe
going back
new
to the email
outfits,
factory.
relationships,
Everything does.
swearing, third
Just get in the taxi.
Sorry, I'm just saying. Anything could happen.
And time.
Time.
So after all of that, you just see a screen that tells you the difficulty that you completed, how many collectibles you managed to get into the game, and the in-game time, along with a so-called high score.
Nice.
But
GG,
other than that,
congrats.
like to
That's
thank,
great.
thank you Slurpy Ninja for helping me with commentary. Like to thank everyone for watching Battletoads 2020. Like to thank Slurpathon for letting me run the game.
Yeah. Thank you for running it and for being here and helping out with our marathon. It's been great.
I hope everybody has a nice morning and evening wherever you are, and stay tuned for the next run and the rest of this Slurpathon.
All right. That was quite a ride. What a ride that I was not expecting anything even close to that level of intensity. Thank you everyone for the donations. We are only $137 away from the halfway mark of our donation goal on still just the first day. That's incredibly impressive. I'm just blown away by everyone's generosity. Stick around. We're going to be seeing Omax playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice in the any percent Shura ending randomizer category momentarily here. We just need a couple minutes for him to get set up, and we should be rolling forward after that. Stay tuned, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alright, actually, I do have a quick announcement regarding the run that's coming up. There actually is going to be a change of schedules. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, the randomizer program's not functioning. But it will still be Sekiro. It will be Sekiro any percent no air swim will be the category being run now rather than the rando. So we'll be back in a few with that.